Good evening. It is July. Jane Austen July to be specific, which is the readathon that I'm. So I just finished Waking the Witch by, I think, Rachel Burgess, and I didn't like it. I was on 2.5 speed at the end. One of the big things in that was dealing with sexual harassment and assault, and I say dealing with very lightly because it felt like, this was a central thing and it didn't actually want to deal with that really. It brought up this issue and it was like, this is bad and this sucks, and it just kind of left it at that. Didn't really have anything to say, and then it tried to go with the whole the power of love angle, but it didn't build up those relationships. It didn't take the time to do that, and then given where it ended and how it ended, it kind of felt like it forsook all those relationships as well. So I'm happy that's over, and I'm a wee bit nervous about Jane Austen because I loved, what was it, Northanger Abbey. Like, my gothic heart was singing, and then I read Persuasion and I was like, I cannot deal with this prose. Like, it fully put up a wall between me and actual enjoyment and the themes and everything like that. I was just like, I need this to stop. And to be fair, I had a really bad headache at the time, which did not help things, but it was like, you have so many words and such long sentences. So I'm going to do Pride and Prejudice. Pride and Prejudice now. I'm going to start on Gutenberg, and I do have a hardcover, and it's a nice old one. Well, it's a nice old one as in it's an old book. It has a sticker for a cover, which is not so nice, and if I find it I will show you. But yeah, that's kind of where we are right now, and I'm looking forward to it, but I'm nervous and I don't want to have two really bad books in a row. 3 possibly, because I haven't finished the Arabic women poets anthology. That's a wow. Some nice reading is all I'm asking for, really. Genuinely, it is gutting that one of my favourite bookshops is closing, but I'm glad to have grabbed this. They have 40% off right now. Jeannie Lynn is one of my favourite romance and also kind of mystery author. This is not my favourite book in the series, but it's gorgeous and I can't wait to have it on my shelf. So we had a talk when we were on holiday last month, and I thought Mum hated cooking, but apparently she doesn't, and we're talking about, how to make things easier on her. So I got her a slow cooking book, and I haven't told her, and I'm really excited about the surprise. The solar lamp that I picked up yesterday is it's one of the best things, honestly. I get such a rush every time I pick it up. You know how you lift your skirt to walk up the stairs and suddenly you're like an old-timey maid, but kind of Hollywood-esque, you don't have to deal with any of the bad shit. Every time I lift this up, it's like I have been punted back in time, and I am I love it so much. Good evening. I am still in my jammies, So some good news first. I found where I stashed my earrings with safekeeping. It was so safe even I didn't know where they were. Bad news is reading, just all of it, basically. My currently reading on Goodreads is up to 63, and there are a lot that I just didn't add because the app was annoying me, and so the stress is really hitting. Also, I have obligated myself to several books for review, and none of those are on the currently reading because I haven't started them, and all of the library loans are kind of running out. But I'm actually really enjoying Pride and Prejudice. I'm mostly familiar with like the Keira Knightley, I'm going to be so upset if I've got her name wrong, version, the movie version, and I'm just, the one thing I did not expect was to read the book like a pantomime, but yeah, it's really fun doing that, actually. I know, it sounds ridiculous, I sound ridiculous, but it is a really fun way to read it, because I am familiar with the story, and there are like some really nice analysis pieces floating around. Like, I knew the reason why Charlotte married was for security, but I hadn't actually considered Jane to be Lizzie's backup plan, and that was like a really interesting thing that gave more depth to what I was reading. Yeah, and that's basically the one bright spot I have in my reading right now, and I am clinging to it with all my might. That said, I am still looking for readathons for next month. Originally, the plan for this month was I had 2 books out from the library by Tolkien, and I was like, great, I've been meaning to do a deep dive of his work. I'm so excited about this. This is going to be a great place to start. And then, but I also signed up to do like Jane Austen July, as you know, the title indicates, and I'm really slow this month. I'm still reading Pride and Prejudice, but I'm still, that's still the thing that I'm having the most fun with. And it turns out there's a Jane Austen con happening next weekend. The first day for me, I think, would be 1 a.m. to 11 p.m. So it is, you're in it for the long haul. And also, yeah, it's just a lot easier than like going hunting through academic archives for anything and everything, And so, apologies to Tolkien, but I think he's going to be like punted off into another time. It's almost 5 in the morning, and as you can probably tell, this is not great for the chronic fatigue. At the end of last year, I had a little bit of alcohol, and I was like, oh, I'm going to monetize the blog. And when I woke up, I was immediately like, oh my god, what did you do? A few days ago, I got 377 ads and not a single cent. And I guess I'm not actually the kind of person to be discouraged by that, for better or for worse. But I have to kind of do the sensible thing and step back. Because I was, start of the month, I was like, you've got 10 posts, you posted 10 days in a row, and as of today, it's also you've posted 5 days in a row, and it's like, I can't, this is not sustainable for me. And I started Patreon and Ko-fi this month, and I have YouTube, which is like the writing vlogs and stuff, they also get posted there, but Patreon is not tied to YouTube in that way. And then there's the actual writing vlog, and it's like, it's too much, I can't do it all. So I said I would stop after July. I'm still going to do WWW Wednesday, which is what did you read? What are you reading? What are you going to read next? And like, because a lot of the posts were like 2023 fantasy releases, so like the first Friday of August is going to be like 5 books I saved in July, and I'm going to keep doing those, but yeah, I'm going to schedule for the rest of the year, and then I'm going to step back. Also reviews, I want to keep going with the reviews. I'd actually like to do more reviews, but you know, everything else kind of got shunted. But yeah, really going to take it back. So this had been my plan for the day, and I've ended up not doing any of it, but it is on YouTube, so I'll get to them eventually. But yeah, I am still reading Pride and Prejudice, so I don't know why I'm so slow this month. So, I finally got to like the midway of Pride and Prejudice and to the proposal. It's so funny. I didn't realise that in the book the reason that she was on her own was because she had a headache. And then he comes storming in with all these insults. I really really hope that one of the talks, because this is I think the third virtual Jane Con, I really hope one of the talks covers this, because it is really funny, but also like there's so much meat to talk about. But yeah, I'm gonna go watch it now. The iPlayer doesn't have Pride and Prejudice anymore, but they've got Pokemon. I don't know why this came up in the search, but they've got Pokemon. I genuinely cannot fathom why this is coming up, but Dragon Ball? Dragon Ball? I have not found my weird copy of Pride and Prejudice to show you, but I have finished the book. I was getting like Pride and Prejudice weekly, I think it's actually bi-weekly emails, which is just like a chapter every 2 weeks, and I thought it was finished, so I loved the pacing at the beginning. And then around chapter 17 I was like, there's only 23 chapters in my inbox, and I don't think you're gonna cover everything you need to. And obviously it didn't. But I think that was my favourite part. The Lydia arc was hard because of what it was, and also the social mores and attitudes at the time were just a lot. But there was flailing throughout, and I did really enjoy it still. So I gave it about 4 stars, and I have looked at some of the virtual Jane Con videos from the few years, and like I love it, the openness of it, and I don't mean to disparage it, but Romancing the Gothic does talks from academic and non-academic speakers, and they've always had so much depth, and I've loved them. And a few of these ones from the virtual Jane Con I found quite shallow. The Lydia one, I was really hoping it would be more than what it was. But there was a really interesting talk on gender and gender roles, I think, in Pride and Prejudice, and I really recommend looking that up. Yeah. I also finished Orange, the Complete Collection Part 1. And to that I will say, as someone who has been sad, this is quite heartwarming. Yeah, so with these friends will get letters from themselves 10 years in the future, and they're like, we want you to save this friend. And yeah, it's a wee bit hard to read because it does deal with like mental health and stuff, but I'm really liking it. So the 7 books on my list, I ended up coming back with 2 Goosebumps. It was for, I think the prompt was a nostalgic read. It's for the Full Moon Readathon by Jan Agaton. And I actually recognised 2, so I grabbed both of them. They have ordered in one for me, I think it's a Gallows Pole. I thought Rebecca they were really likely to have that somewhere, but it's also, I left it too late and book group is on Thursday, so I'm just gonna have to buy an ebook. Well, that's handy. Oh. I am so annoyed with Simon Avery's Hand in Hand with Love poetry collection, queer poetry collection. Like, it is, you're just hacking these poems to pieces, and I can't stand it. So I just wanted to say that this is really good. I really enjoyed it. It is a wee bit thin in places, and that does kind of undermine the end a wee bit, but it is also really good, and it's a quiet, subtle graphic novel. It's not that there's nothing in parts of it, it's just that it's subtle. And the art is great. It's very expressive, and it's just really good. So that's next week book group taken care of. I didn't expect it to be quite so big a book, I'm going to be honest. Yeah, I think it's based on historical events, and I just don't know anything else, honestly. I don't remember if I talked about the Gutenberg edition of Pride and Prejudice once I'd switched to it. It was fine. I thought it was easier reading it through the emails. It kind of just felt faster as well, because it was chapter by chapter instead of this huge long scroll. But I really was surprised, because I thought I would enjoy the illustrations, and I did not. And that's kind of where I am with Sense and Sensibility. There are a lot less illustrations. And it is in fact missing one, page 290, I think. I'm actually enjoying it better now, and the prose is kind of growing on me. But yeah, I thought I would read the introduction, which I think it also says has been cut off prematurely. I was going to read that at the end, but I might go back and have a look. I think I'm on about page 37, 38 right now. Yeah, we'll see.
Let's just do the thing where I'm going to sit in at 5.
the New Words and Kisses book came. I don't actually know what this is about, so I know I haven't gotten far. I don't hate it, but well, I'm enjoying it less, shall we say. I will finish her works at some point, but